The meeting room floated in space. It was huge, made of crystal that sparkled like stars. This was the Galactic Council chamber, where leaders from 1,000 different alien worlds came to talk and make decisions. The room had been here for 10,000 years. In all that time, there had been peace mostly. Sometimes there were small fights, but nothing too serious. Today, the humans were here. They wanted something important. Ambassador Tae-hyun stood on the human platform. He was tall, with dark hair and calm eyes. He wore a simple black suit, nothing fancy. But the way he stood made people look at him. He carried himself like someone who knew things. Important things. Behind him stood 3 other humans, all quiet and still. Tae-hyun looked around the chamber. There were so many different aliens here. Some looked like giant bugs with hard shells. Others glowed with their own light. Some had tentacles. Some had 6 legs. Some looked almost like humans, but with different colored skin or extra eyes. Each species was different. Each had their own way of doing things. Across from the human platform, the Vrexian High Commander shifted in her seat. Her name was Kelthera. She looked like a giant bug with a hard shell covering her body. The shell was made of many plates that clicked and clacked when she moved. She had multiple eyes, all of them looking at Tae-hyun with something that looked like dislike. Her people, the Vrexians, had ruled a big part of the galaxy for thousands of years. They were strong, they were old, and they did not like these new humans. Kelthara made a sound, a series of clicks and scrapes. A machine next to her translated the sounds into words that everyone could understand. The voice was flat and cold. Ambassador, your people want to join the Galactic Defense Network. They want full military integration. This means your soldiers would work with our soldiers. Your ships would work with our ships. Before we can agree to this, we must know what you can do. We must evaluate your capabilities. The word capabilities came out slowly, like she did not really believe humans had any. Tae-hyun nodded his head. Just a small movement. Of course, High Commander. We welcome your evaluation. We want you to see what we can do. Kelthara's eyes narrowed. All of them. Your regular military forces fought in some battles against the Krell Collective. The Krell were another alien species, mean and aggressive. The humans had fought them near the border of human space. We watched those battles. Your soldiers performed adequately. She paused. Adequately. Not great. Not amazing. Just okay. That is what she meant. But, Kelthara continued, we have learned something interesting. You have other units. Special units. Elite soldiers. You call them special forces. Her translator made the words sound strange, like she did not understand them. When she said this, the whole chamber changed. Aliens started talking to each other in whispers. The Therians, who looked like giant elephants with trunks and wise eyes, touched each other with their minds, sharing worried thoughts. The Luminari, beings made of living crystal that glowed with soft light, dimmed their brightness. Even the proud Vrexians seemed nervous. Tae-hyun watched all of this. He saw the worry. He saw the fear starting to grow. He allowed himself a small smile, just a tiny movement of his lips. Yes, High Commander. We do have specialized units. Kelthara leaned forward. Her plates rattled together, making a sound like rocks falling. Why? Your regular forces already fight in ways we find disturbing. They are aggressive. They attack with a fury that seems insane. They never surrender, even when they are losing, even when they are dying. We have reports of your Marines singing songs while they bled in the void of space, floating in the emptiness between stars. What kind of soldiers do that? She paused, and her voice took on a different tone, confused and maybe a little scared. If your regular forces are already like this, what could possibly require forces that are more special? What do these special forces do? Tae-hyun took a moment before answering. He wanted them to think about the question. He wanted them to wonder. Finally he spoke, and his voice was quiet but clear. The regulars are trained for conventional warfare. Normalvar. They are very good at fighting in space, on planets, holding ground and breaking enemy lines. They know how to fight in the open, in big battles. They excel at it. He paused again. But some situations require different approaches, different methods, different ways of thinking. One of the Thurians raised his trunk, asking for permission to speak. When Tae-hyun nodded, the Thurian spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. Can you explain? We do not understand this concept. In our history, war is fought by armies, fleets of ships, soldiers in formation.
What other way is there?
Tae-hyun looked at the Thurian, then at all the other aliens in the chamber. Many ways. But perhaps it would be better to show you than to tell you. Kelthara's plates clacked together sharply. A demonstration? You want to demonstrate these special forces? Yes, Taehyun's voice was calm, steady. If you truly want to evaluate our military capabilities, you should see what we can do. All of what we can do. The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens talking, arguing, discussing. Some seemed interested. Others seemed worried. The luminary dimmed even more, their light almost going out. The Vrexians rattled their shells in what might have been anger or fear. After several minutes, Kelthara raised one of her clawed hands. The chamber went quiet. Very well, Ambassador. We will arrange a demonstration. We will see these special forces of yours. We will see if they are truly as special as you claim. Her voice carried a challenge. My own elite troops, the Vrexian shock troops, are the finest soldiers in the galaxy. They have never been defeated. They have never failed a mission. If your special forces are truly special, they will have to prove it against the best. Taehyun nodded slowly. We accept. Name the time and place 3 weeks from now. The training moon of Hesperus Prime. We will create a scenario, a test. Your special forces will attempt a mission. My shock troops will try to stop them. The council will observe. Kelthara sounded confident, almost eager. Agreed, Taehyun said simply. As the meeting ended and the aliens began to leave the chamber, Taehyun remained standing on the human platform. One of the humans behind him stepped forward. It was Lieutenant Sora, a young woman with sharp eyes and quick movements. She spoke quietly so only Taehyun could hear. Sir, are you sure about this? If we show them what our special forces can really do, they might become more afraid of us, not less. Taehyun watched the aliens filing out of the chamber. The Vrexians walked with their heads high, confident. The Thurians moved slowly, thoughtfully. The luminary floated, their light still dim with worry. That is the point, Lieutenant. Fear brings respect. Respect brings caution. Caution prevents war. Right now they see us as newcomers, young and weak. They tolerate us. Some, like the Vrexians, barely hide their contempt. They think we are children playing with toys. He turned to look at Sora. It is better that they fear us a little now, while we are friends, than to underestimate us later, when we might be enemies. Sora nodded slowly. Understanding. And the Special Forces team? Which unit should we send? Taehyun smiled, a real smile this time. Send Captain Bora's team. They are good at making impressions. Tell them to be professional, be efficient, and be thorough, but also tell them to show restraint. We want to impress the council, not terrify them completely. Sora smiled too. She knew Bora's team. They were some of the best. Understood, sir. I will send the orders immediately. As they prepared to leave the chamber, Taehyun took one last look at the beautiful crystal structure floating in space. This place had seen 10,000 years of peace. Empires had risen and fallen. Species had come and gone, and through it all the galaxy had maintained a certain way of doing things, a certain understanding of how wars were fought. Humanity was about to change that understanding, not with force, not with threats, but by simply showing the galaxy something it had never seen before, something it had never needed to develop. The concept of warriors who fought in the shadows, soldiers who won battles before the enemy even knew they were there, forces so specialized, so refined, that they could accomplish in minutes what armies might never achieve. In 3 weeks, the Galactic Council would see. They would understand. And they would never look at humanity the same way again. Taehyun walked toward the exit, Sora following close behind. The demonstration at Hesperus Prime would be interesting. Very interesting indeed.